So Kristen, if a community member is interested in participating and having a voice in the budget process, what's the best way for them to engage?
Absolutely. So the budget process is actually quite a long process. The town departments started preparing their budgets for fiscal 25 back in August, and there are a series of meetings coming up that they'll be able to participate via Zoom or in person to talk about the budgets and provide input. The town staff is really moving towards a selection right now with the select board's input of 2 budgets. One, we are looking at a service reduction budget based upon the work of the budget task force and all of the additional expenses that are coming into play in fiscal 25. And then the select board has also asked the department heads to prepare what we're going to call an override budget. So what are the level services that we would provide if the town is asked to do an override in early of 2024?
Good. So the voters and the attendees at town meeting would basically have a choice between 2 options. One would stay within the sort of historic limits, but we now know would include a ton of service reduction, and the other would be more like preserving key services, but would involve an override. So they'll have a chance to weigh in and vote on that.
Absolutely. So they'll get a preview of that on December 12th when I present the budgets to the select board, and the finance committee will also be at that meeting. That will be a public meeting, so there'll be able to be some public input there. And then the finance committee actually holds public hearings throughout the month of January and February on key individual departments. So Christina, I don't know if you want to give an overview more of how the finance committee runs their meetings and how the public can get involved at that point in time.
Sure. So we have our meetings on Thursday evenings. They will be throughout January and into early February. And we welcome the public. We welcome public input either at the meeting or ahead of time in email.
And how do people find agenda? So let's say I was particularly interested in the school budget or in the public safety budget. How would I know which meeting to go to?
The best thing to do would be to sign up for the Finance Committee agendas. And you'll get an email, and they'll have the agenda. You'll know what departments are being discussed that evening.
Yep, the Notify Me tab under westfordma.gov gives you all options to select town departments to sign up for their agendas.
Okay.
And we'll be establishing 2 budgets as well too. Mm-hmm. That was something that we've been talking about, and as we've been looking to see what the needs are for FY25, I anticipate bringing to the school committee a very similar situation where a budget that is reflective of what we believe the needs to be, and then a budget that would live within our current typical expectations as well too. And our budget presentations take place in December as well too. So we have a December 4th meeting and then a December 18th meeting, and the school committee talks about the budget for a couple of meeting cycles before they officially vote on their recommendation that then goes to the finance committee as well.
And then after the Finance Committee set of hearings and review, what happens after that?
Sure. So then we incorporate that budget into our town meeting warrant, where there's specific articles related to the operating budget, the capital budget, and other enterprise accounts. And then the town meeting, so anyone going to town meeting will have a chance to vote on these budgets at the end of March. So March 23rd is our annual town meeting this year. And if an override type budget passes at town meeting, it would then go on the ballot for the May annual election on May 7th.
Okay. Great. Well, thank you very much. Hopefully the residents have a good idea of how to engage in the process, and we invite you to do so. Your comments and input are always welcome. Thanks.